Hello everyone, it's Nina. Thanks for joining me today for a new video. Today's project is part of Simon Says Stamp's DieCember release blog hop. And for those of you who are new to it, DieCember is a celebration of die cutting all month long. Simon Says Stamp is going to have some really fun surprises upcoming throughout the month, and we're kicking things off with the DieCember release. And in the DieCember collection, there's a lot of really cool new dies, of which I'm going to be using today in my project. Now, before I get into that, like I said, it's a blog hop. I have a free gift with purchase offer here for you on screen, as well as on my blog. So if you want more information about it, you can go check out my blog or click on the link in the video description. There's also a lot of other designers participating in today's hop, so you definitely want to make sure you participate so that way you can see all the different ideas that they have to share. So let's jump into what I'm going to make. I created this vignette box with many of the new products in the DieCember release, including the arched French doors. They are so cute. So I created this little window scene into a North Pole setting, which I thought would be so cute for a holiday decor piece. I'm going to die cut the arched French doors from some Tim Holtz two-tone wood grain cardstock. This die already creates the score lines for you, so what I'm doing is I'm going ahead and folding on those score lines to get the doors creased. I always like taking a bone folder and going over those folds just to make sure I get a really good crease on the score line. And that will make the doors open and close a lot more easily. I'm roughly measuring out where this is going to fall on my vignette box, and I chopped that down so that way it was about the same size. And I'm also going to cut down some pattern paper. This happens to be from Vicki Boutin. It is so pretty. It's a Christmas paper collection. I have links to everything that I'm using today in the video description if you're looking for it. But anyway, it's a super cute paper, and I thought it would be perfect for a night scene. I'm also sticking some matte silver cardstock from Simon Says Stamp inside of my vignette box, and I'm putting that on all four sides of the box, interior sides. This is going to create a mirrored effect, and it's going to reflect everything that's inside of the box really well. To adhere everything, I do like using red line tape from Simon Says Stamp. The reason why is because it saves me from having to wait for things to dry. That's a big key in making mixed media pieces, is that the dry time is oftentimes long. If you use a liquid glue or something like that, I like being able to keep moving. So red line tape is my friend because it will stick to anything and it doesn't need any time to dry. So after I filled the edges of the box with my paper, I'm also now going to start sticking my scene pieces inside. I freehand cut some snowy hills from white cardstock, and I also die cut the new pointed evergreen dies from Simon Says Stamp's DieCember release, and I'm laying those inside of the box too. Now you'll notice that silver one, oh my gosh, it's so pretty. That one was die cut from some new Luxe Glitter cardstock from Simon Says Stamp. This is from the classic assortment. So I have this really pretty silver tree set. It looks just so gorgeous in here. All right, you see this cute little deer? He's actually not part of the DieCember release, but he's definitely something I love having in my stash because I use him quite often. This little retro deer die from Simon Says Stamp was actually from a previous year, but he's so good for little scenes like this. And so I'm die cutting him from some brown cardstock. I added a little bit of ink blending just to kind of get a little shading. And I'm going to stick him in here amongst all the frosty snow that we're creating. I always like, of course, throwing in a little bit of mica flakes for that perfect snow effect. So I did put some glue down with glossy accents to give me some spaces to apply some mica flakes inside. I love how this turned out. I'll put the little deer amongst those mica flakes too, so he looks like he's standing in a little pile of snow. So at this point, I was ready to put my arched French doors on top of my scene. So I'm using Simon Says Stamp red line tape in a 1/8 inch width. I covered all of the front facing edges of my vignette box with that, and then I'm going to lay my panel right on top. So we have this cute little window scene now looking into the reindeer. So cute. So that way I didn't have any rough edges of the paper. I like taking an emery board and sanding them down so that they're nice and flush with the box, and it creates much more softer effect. I liked how this turned out. At this point, I had decided, you know what, I want to put some glass in my doors, but I really should have put the glass on, which was made from some acetate. I should have put that on before I assembled the door onto my box. It would have been a whole lot easier. But I didn't think of that, so I die cut the arched door. This one is not the French door, but rather just the simple arch door. I cut that from some acetate and I glued it to the back side of each of my French doors. So that created the perfect glass to look into my scene. If you were going to make this, I definitely would say put the glass on before you actually put the whole thing together. Now, speaking of putting things together, I'm stacking a couple of these snowflake curl die cuts, also new from the DieCember release. I'm stacking them together to create a sturdy piece because I want to put this on top of my vignette box so it's actually kind of coming off of the box. But I needed it to be sturdy so that way it didn't flop over. So I die cut the Luxe glitter cardstock with the snowflake curl die and then also a piece of white, stack the two together, and then I could glue that right on top of my vignette box and I know it's not going to be floppy. And I did add another extra snowflake on the bottom. Oh my gosh, the fir branch dies. Oh, I love them. I'm going to use that along the bottom of my scene. It kind of helps you draw in. It's the nice focal front point, and then you kind of look into the scene. You kind of feel like you're looking through some trees. I thought this would look so cute on the corner, and I added a few little fairy jewels from Memory Box on here too, which are the exact same fairy jewels I used to make the red nose on Rudolph. So this is creating the exterior decorations of our vignette. We're almost done, but I did want to add a little bit of something to the edges. So you don't have to decorate the sides of the vignette box, but I really like how this adds just that nice finishing touch. So I painted these snowflakes from a stencil from Simon Says Stamp. This is a layering snowflake stencil. I used white acrylic paint and I'm just painting through the stencil in a dabbing motion with a blending tool. This is one of Tim Holtz's little mini ink dauber blending tools. And I just applied that paint through the stencil to create that snowy edge. I love it. It looks so pretty. And I did actually then take a paintbrush and do a little bit of dry brushing just to add a little bit of a distressed effect. I like that look. All right, so now I'm ready to fill up the interior bottom portion of my vignette. I thought it would be fun to add just a little bit of interest, a little touch of the North Pole by adding some of these glass bubbles from Tim Holtz and also candy pieces. These red and white peppermints are so cute and add that North Pole candy cane effect. And then I finally added the last finishing touch, which were little teeny tiny doorknobs that I made from some little half black pearls from Tim Holtz. That made the perfect little doorknob effect, and I love how this box turned out. This is something that you could put on your mantle, on a table. It's a great holiday decoration, and I just love how it turned out. All the different pieces from the DieCember collection worked so well together to make this. I hope you were inspired by the project that I shared today. Even if you don't make a mixed media piece, I think you could incorporate a lot of these ideas into a card project, tags, whatever it is you're into creating. Don't forget, check out the blog hop. There's a lot of good stuff that you don't want to miss. I hope you'll tune in so you can see even more DieCember ideas. Thank you so much for watching today, and I will be back very soon with more to share. Bye!